Tasmania is amazing and geographically blessed. We have some of the world's cleanest air, freshest water. We've got a Goldilocks climate, not too hot or not too cold, obviously today accepted. A great natural moat in Bass Strait, and we export 5.5 times as much food as we eat. Hi, I'm Michael Fraser, Chief Operating Officer of a $10 million edtech company with a 30-year background in project and risk management. I'm also a lifelong Tasmanian, as you can probably see, with a wife, 4 kids, and a home here. Sadly, I believe that at this time the world is facing an unprecedented set of catastrophic threats arising from a wide variety of areas, whether that's global warming through kinetic and cyber warfare, through to things like AI and gene editing tech. And yes, look, many threats are really low likelihood, they're not going to trigger. Some of the threats that do trigger won't affect Tasmania at all. Some of the ones that do affect Tasmania are pretty low impact to us because we've got good mitigation strategies in place already. But some of them, particularly those that leave us largely isolated from the rest of Australia or the world, could affect us in ways we haven't really thought about. And worst case, leave us fighting amongst ourselves for scarce resources. And I firmly believe that the best way to survive these types of situations is not for everyone to build a barbed wire fence around their place and stock up on toilet paper. But it's for communities within natural geographic boundaries, such as, of course, Tasmania, to plan ahead to work together. Which brings me to my social enterprise concept, which is called Preparing Tasmania, or PT for short. It's designed to fill a gap that neither the public or private sector have much of a handle on, which is long-term future risk management. It's in 3 parts. An R&D arm, which is to assess threats to Tasmania and Tasmanians, particularly against the lower levels of Maslow's hierarchy. That's the basic things like food, shelter and security, and work out which ones are actually relevant to us. For those that are, develop impact mitigation strategies. And the fun thing about those is there's a whole lot of threats that could trigger, which all actually have the same impact mitigation strategy. Like, we still need to do the same things. So there's a limited number of things that we might need to do. But then, if we want to do those things, how well off are we to do those? We've got pretty good physical resources here, but where do our supply chains break? You know, where can we dig? Maybe we can dig minerals up from the ground, and maybe we've got great blacksmiths, but can we actually refine metals? Well, I don't think so. And the skills and the skill chains, maybe we've got the skills, but we don't have them all the way through. And where are we well prepared, and where are we a bit disorganised? So that's that component. The second component, the second arm, would be a private equity investment arm, particularly, I guess, for the physical resources, which are the saleable component. So out of each R&D on a particular threat area would come a list of items identified as either critical or highly important to risk mitigation strategies for Tasmania, leading to a prospectus for investors. And that's a capital class investment, a bit like a unit trust, but where the investment represents a real bundle of goods that would be physically purchased, imported and warehoused inside state boundaries. And the third part is a web front, but one that only sells excess goods to physical Tasmanian addresses. Because ultimately we don't care whether or not they're stored in advance or distributed across the state, as long as we have them. That's all a bit esoteric crap, so I'm going to give you an example. It's a made-up example because I haven't done the R&D yet, that's why I'm here pitching. So let's say loss of biodiversity from the current species extinction risk allows for the development of some dominant superbug, a locust that eats all grains, everything above the ground. So what's Tasmania's response? We've got no rice, we've got no wheat. We're going to plant potatoes. We've got a lot of seed potatoes, believe it or not, in Tassie. It's one of our export crops. So we organise ourselves, we give everybody a big bundle of potatoes, we all go to plant them in our backyards, and then we realise actually we've only got sort of 1 shovel for every 50 households. We have a spade, we have a horrible spade timeshare problem where everybody's going to be running up and down the street with spades. It's a problem. Or PT has done some research on this, and we've actually purchased 10,000 spades and a few other things. We've identified a few of these, a few of that. The salt there is for iodine. If we don't have any iodine in Tassie, we'll get goiter and be called two-headed again. So I've done a bit of research, not very much research. Anyway, so maybe there's a portfolio, a bunch of people have a portfolio, and then we're better off. This is the concept. So who might invest in this? Well, basically anybody who either lives in Tasmania, plans to live in Tasmania, or has family who lives in Tasmania, maybe owns property in Tasmania, maybe wants to run home to Tasmania if some catastrophic event does happen. So that's the goal there. What I'd like to do is to pitch a crowdfunding campaign for the first R&D league in order to prepare the first prospectus. That's something I'll be trying to do this year. And right at the moment, today's ask is simply anybody who's got thoughts or feedback on this, they want to give me critical or positive feedback, please let me know. And if you're interested in going on a list for the crowdfunding campaign when it happens, because you want to tell 1,000 people or two, please. There's a bit of paper there with email addresses on it, or you can probably get them. We can sort that. Fantastic. So that's probably it for me. Get involved, and either way, yeah, Tasmania's amazing, and I want to keep it that way. Thanks.